Hello, and welcome to Conscious Curiosities, where we unlock the wisdom of the universe which lies within us. I'm your host, Maria Luz, an astrologer, psychic medium, and certified hypnotist. As you may know, I've mostly moved over to my Substack, Astrology, Alchemy, and Honest Recovery. So I am sharing an audio from my Substack post for you today, and I'd love to have you join me over there. You can subscribe for free or as a paid subscriber for just $5 a month or $50 a year, and that entitles you to join in the monthly gatherings where I cover a topic on either alchemy or astrology and open it up for any questions you may have. I hope to see you over there. Thank you. The Snake and the Stethoscope, Diagnosing the Soul's Evolution. Listening Inward and Finding the Heart of the Matter by Maria Luz O'Rourke. The image symbol transmitted to me for the week of May 12th, 2025 is a stethoscope, diagnosing the heart and the heart of the matter. The questions I posed and the cards which came are: what do we need to examine from our unconscious and subconscious minds? The card that came is Frozen in Time, Non-Action, Slow Down, Not Yet. Is there a part of you saying, not so fast? Or perhaps an external obstacle has arisen, forcing you to slow down and regroup? The next question was, what do we need to examine from our conscious mind? And the card that came was Elder Snake, Release the Old. Okay, so this seems obvious, but you will see in my share below that it may also involve calling back something old to be repurposed. Physician, heal thyself. Although I am not a physician, I have strongly been feeling this sentiment leading up to the potent full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio energy is, in fact, deeply healing if we allow it to penetrate the depths of our subconscious, and like its modern ruler, Pluto, allow it to survey that underworld unflinchingly. There is an unspoken challenge here for us, in a nuanced yet powerful arrangement of the planets at Monday's full moon. It was so nuanced, even I, a psychic, could not quite grasp what I was seeing. Could that be the meaning of the refrain, physician, heal thyself, but substitute in psychic, see thyself? I began to stalk myself, echoing Pluto with Persephone, examining my behavior and my words. What is true and what is fiction? Because it is an old story from an old wound. Beneath life's scars, what is now throbbing below the surface, poking at my status quo? The sun in Taurus prefers to remain in the known. This unspoken challenge arises from the arrangement of Jupiter, natural truths, in Gemini, multiple ways to perceive, in a sextile aspect, mutual spark, to Chiron, our intrinsic wounds, in Aries, our origin story, forming a yod aspect, pointing to destiny, to the moon in Scorpio. The image of the stethoscope appeared snake-like in my third eye, only to be echoed by the elder snake card I pulled later. The message on the card hissed, release the old. In fact, I had just been complaining to the energy worker as she performed her intake on Friday that I was a little frustrated with the transformation I was undergoing, as it often feels like my skin is being peeled off. She found disharmony in my sacral and heart chakras, which synced with the intention I had been guided to set around having space to creatively serve my soul's mission. While I am not a card-carrying physician, I was trained to think like one, and immediately went into diagnosis mode. Cue the stethoscope, ready to take the scalpel to my heart to excise the traitorous cells. Shh, whispered the snake, removing the scalpel from my mind the next day. You forget that you are no longer in a battle, that you have chosen a different way of being. How can you hold your new tools when you refuse to put down the old? And while I was not physically holding a scalpel, I realized that I had made my entire being into a warrior in this life. I have Mars conjunct my Sun, both in Leo in my 10th house, fueled by my Aries moon in the 6th house. This explains why I was able to rise to great heights in my career, the 10th house, why I was able to tear myself apart daily, the 6th house, to achieve goals and perform many duties. It explains why my first impulse is to go. The dilemma, the disharmony picked up by the tuning forks is that I no longer have a destination. I am here. I must put down the weapon of productivity that is the throbbing wound underneath the scars. I cannot take this with me into my transformed selfhood. It is such an old familiar tool turned wound. I suspect I will continue to struggle to release it, but I'm going to try. I yearn for the life I have begun living. I am the only thing getting in the way of enjoying it by limiting the creative space I need with the familiar clutter of productivity. You will likely have other tools, wounds, patterns, and transformations in your life. And if you have also felt something nagging at you below the surface, don't lose heart. We have help from the planets to get to the heart of the matter once and for all. Ceres and Saturn are conjunct in Pisces, very close to the North Node and Neptune. The presence of this energy at the full moon may reveal how you can work spiritual, Pisces and Neptune, sustenance, Ceres, into the structure of your life, Saturn, in a way that evolves you, the North Node. As I set down the tool of productivity in order to heal the core wounds of having to earn love and belonging through specific actions and ways of being, an old tool was revealed to me. Oddly, it is one which arose from my strong Mars and Aries energy. I spent many years running marathons and ultra marathons, and one thing I learned was impermanence. I would find myself miserable at mile 35 or so of a 50 miler and would remind myself of all the previous moments I had felt it was impossible to continue and how those feelings never lasted. A mile or two later, I would be cruising again. I find myself reaching for this tool during meditation as I've been increasing the frequency and duration of my practice. Just this morning, it was feeling hard to relax and focus. My son is sick and I could hear him moving around. I knew I wanted to mow the lawn, etc. This will pass. Just allow the thoughts to fade into the background. I was able to reassure myself. And sure enough, before the bell rung, I had a stretch of wonderful feeling of simultaneous spaciousness and connection to everyone and everything. Meditation has indeed been sustaining me as I experience growing pains getting used to my new life. And my love of running has been reborn now that my body and mind are in working order after recovering these last few years. I've started increasing my mileage, and who knows, I may get back to ultras. The mountains keep calling me. Where do you see a tool may be repurposed in your life in order to sustain you through difficult times? I really love working one on one with people and therefore have created some quicker options for people to dip their toes in and see if they find working with me helpful. To introduce these new offerings, current and future paid subscribers will get a 30-minute astrology or tarot oracle reading, which is a $75 value, plus a bonus 15-minute single card reading, a $30 value, to gift to a friend. Paid subscribers, you will receive the discount codes via email later today. If that sounds interesting to you and you would like to subscribe, the cost is $5 a month or $50 a year, and I would love to have you here on Substack. You would also gain access to the live monthly Ask Me Anything and gathering where I present on a topic. Thus far, it's been on astrology and most recently on Saturday on herbalism, and I open it up for questions. Or if you would like to simply schedule one of the new 15 or 30-minute options, you can do so by going to my website or the Book With Me tab on Substack. And in the interest of releasing, in order to welcome the new or the repurposed into my life, I'm going to scale back just a bit. I'm pausing my Wednesday posts, and I will post Mondays the guidance or the questions to ponder for the week ahead. And often that will have some personal reflection and astrology woven in. And on Fridays, I will post the brief audio related to recovery from whatever you are recovering from, and my discussion about how we can inch closer to living freely and authentically. Thank you.